Nyasi mar chako ayanga riwruok mar jolony mar mine alwora ma Nyanza dhi nyime e kaunti ma Kisumu. Riwruok mokelo kanyakla kwan mine mohewo 700 mantiere gi lony kod telo e sektas mopogore e pachoka twak ewi yore ma ginyalo chwalo godo weche mag dongruok kaluwo. Wawinjane kaka chenro ma kamano dhi nyime.
Mentorship, I don't know what does it do for me? So how do we follow the steps? What exactly should we, the guys who sit on this side of the stage, do to them or for them?
I think this can be one of the most meaningful things that the Professional Association of Nyanza Women actually do, which is mentor young girls, I think, in your case. And I think the first thing is everyone has to understand that no matter where you are in your career, you can be a mentor. If you're 26, you can mentor 22-year-olds. Sometimes, by the way, you can mentor 50-year-olds. We had a program at Procter & Gamble where we had the young people who joined the company mentor the older people on technology because the 50-somethings did not understand social media at all. They couldn't understand it. By the way, many companies now have the younger people mentoring older people around artificial intelligence. So, but I would say typically mentorship is from someone who has a little bit more experience to someone who has less experience. So everyone can be a mentor. You don't have to be at the top of your organization. You can move, you can be somewhere, anywhere, and help. And the first thing you have to realize is how important it can be. And I'll be straightforward with this group. For probably the first 20 years of my career, I wasn't that interested in mentoring anyone. I was just focused on figuring out what I needed to do next, what was going to be, how did I, work hard and deliver the results. And it wasn't until I was about 40 years old where I said, you know what? If we want change for this next generation of women, the women who have been at the forefront have to really help the youngsters. And so really the last 20 to 30 years, I have spent a lot of time with women's group, young girls, and because I am at my core a technology executive, I've spent 40 years in technology. I've really spent a lot of time trying to interest young girls in science, technology, engineering, and math. Because it's, at least in the United States, what happens is girls and boys are equal in science and math until 6th grade. Then 7th, 8th, 9th grade, you see a drop-off. Another drop-off of 9, 10, 11, 12. And then the women who do get to college in science and technology and maybe engineering, they drop out of those majors much faster than the men. And we have to encourage those girls. By the way, engineering is hard. It's hard. Math is hard. But anyone can do it. And we just need to encourage people that it's going to be hard, but you're going to be so glad that if you have any aptitude for science or technology. If I had to do it over again, I was an economics major. If I had to do the whole thing over, I would force myself to be a computer science engineer. It wouldn't have been natural, but I would have benefited dramatically. And every business is a technology business today. Agriculture is a technology business. Fashion is a technology business. Tourism is a technology business. And knowing the basics of that technology for this younger generation, I think is really important.
Okay. All right. As I wrap up, a few more. I know you have to leave us soon. This association would like to collaborate with the US on an exchange program between entrepreneurs from the region with entrepreneurs from that region. How can we make that happen? That's the question.
So one of the things I think that Kenya and the U.S. do very well together is cross-cultural exchanges. We have so many Kenyans that have gone to exchange programs in the U.S. for a week, a month, gone to high school, gone to college, gone to graduate school. Every day I run into Kenyans who have actually gone to school in the United States. There's also a very big diaspora in Kenya in the United States. In Dallas, Texas, in San Francisco, New York, and very powerful diaspora. In fact, I think the government has recognized the power of the Kenyan diaspora in the United States. And then we've had many people. Chris Coons, who many of you may have heard of, is a senator, a very important senator, who spent his first year in college here at the University of Nairobi. Speaks fluent Swahili and has been an advocate for Africa and for Kenya in the United States Senate for 20 years. So there's been tremendous back and forth, and I think it leads to understanding. I think it leads to learning from both cultures, and I think it's one of the things we do best. And so if there's a specific idea that the Professional Association of Nyanza has about an entrepreneurial exchange program, come see me about that, because it's one of the things that I think we're most interested in. And if you look back over, 60 years of Kenyan American partnership, that's been one of the highlights for 60 years. We have Fulbright scholars, we've got Mandela scholars, we've got all kinds of exchange programs.
Yeah. Okay. We've heard that. So now and my parents and my kids are part of that journey. So here we are. I want to open it to the floor. Gentlemen, is there another mic? Thank you. All right. The lady at the front with the black jumper, the black top. Can't hear you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, CS. Good afternoon, everybody else. All protocols observed. Ambassador, good afternoon. You touched on the issue of diasporan Americans, Kenyans. So, look, there's some areas where our two presidents interconnect. President Biden has an interest in Africa's energy efficiency and is building an industry on that. And of course, President Ruto is also interested in climate issues. So as diasporians, we see the opportunities being advertised, in DC and all the, reports coming out. And we also see the same thing here. So my question to you is, how do we get these two things connected so that we can actually take advantage of both opportunities? I'm in the net zero space, net zero energy.